Hello, it's me TFR Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the first of this month's Korean toy reviews. And today I have got something from the Hello Carbot toy line. It's a new figure that's just come out, and actually it's not part of the Samba toy line, even though it's been released alongside the new Samba toy line, because the marks on the box, well, it hasn't got the Samba logo on the box, which is a bit weird, but it's a new toy. It's an Animal Carbot, one of two Animal Carbots that have been introduced for season 11, and it's this guy, Hello Carbot Eagle Hider. Now, obviously, I've got it in its eagle mode. As you can see, it's a large bird of prey. It's modelled after a bald eagle. I mean, my lights are sort of washing out the the nose, you know, the beak of the eagle, so you can't really make out much detail. But yeah, so I decided to get this thing. First of all, before we get into the figure in any depth, a quick look at the packaging. It's quite a large box. It's fairly thin. It's got the pictures on the back for, you know, Eagle Hider and Bear Hider, which is the other Animal Carbot they've introduced. I'm probably going to get that in the new year. And yeah, so it's a box. It's got the usual sort of cardboard runner inside to hold the figure, and comes with a set of black and white instructions, the little cube that goes in the activator watch that Chatan has that makes lights and sounds. And then it also comes with this sword and scabbard, which pegs in quite firmly. There we go. It comes with a brown sword and a scabbard to go in. Now, obviously, the bird, like I said, is modelled after a bald eagle. So any American viewers will be going, you know, the golden eagle, the national bird of the United States. And yeah, it's quite a successful bird former. I mean, you look on the top, you got a lot of moulded feather detail, which is quite good. The feathers around the front, and of course on the side, and it's got a large fantail on the back. And the proportions of the bird are quite reasonably good. I mean, I think for a bald eagle, it should have a much wider wingspan than that. But the length of the body and the tail is quite good. Now, comparisons to this thing, I think the most obvious one you can do is with Kingdom Air Razor. So I've got Kingdom Air Razor here in her bird mode, and obviously you do a size comparison. Yeah, it much bigger. But then again, actually thinking about it, the bald eagle is a very large bird of prey. It's very, very big. And Air Razor's alt mode is a peregrine falcon, and peregrine falcons are quite small. So I think, size comparison wise, I think that's pretty close to how big a bald eagle would be against a peregrine falcon. But peregrine falcons might be small, but they're very speedy. They're very fast. So yeah. Now, one of my complaints on Air Razor is the length of the bird. You know, it's got the tail is basically stuck off the back of the wings. Now, if you look at the golden eagle, I mean, the bald eagle, sorry, I keep saying golden eagle, you can see it's got this much more realistic length. You look at that, you see how short the tail is on the Kingdom figure compared to this Hello Carbot figure. So yeah, that's a little bit more atomically accurate. Does have sort of some large talons. They don't actually stow away in bird mode. You can kind of fold them up. That's about as far back as they can go. The feet don't bend forwards. They just they can rotate from side to side, but they can't bend backwards and forwards. This toe does fold up. As you can hear, there's a ratchet on there, but they're just ratcheted forwards and backwards. They don't. There's no joint to angle them outwards at all. So yeah, you can have the bird, you know, sort of swooping in for a kill, you know, with its talons out, but when you're trying to stow them away in flight, they just sort of hang out the back. Underneath, obviously, you've got visible robot kibble. You've got the arms pinned up underside of the wings. You've got some robot thighs here, but the rest of it's not too bad underneath, actually. You know, you've got a lot of the brown plastic with all the feather detail on, which is blending in quite well underneath the bird. So yeah, it's a large bird of prey. Now the sword does have a couple of pegs on the scabbard, which will peg in to these ports underneath, so you can the bird can carry its weapon, can carry the sword. It doesn't plug in particularly well. It's a very loose, you know, sort of connection on mine. I don't know why, whether that's supposed to be a thing, but yeah. So that's something that you can do with it. You can plug the scabbard of and the sword into the talons of the bird, so it can fly around carrying the sword. Not much more I can say about it, really. It's a pretty good looking bird. I think personally the way they've handled the robot junk is better on this bird than it is on the kingdom bird. I mean, the kingdom bird, the arms are sort of scrunched up along into the body, and then the feet are sort of just bent double underneath. And like I said, because it's got a very short tail, it doesn't look particularly realistic. But this thing is a little bit more successful as a bird former. I mean, yeah, okay, it's got the robot arms underneath the wings, whereas this one's got, you know, just plain wings. It's not too obtrusive. I've seen a lot worse. So yeah, it's actually not too bad. So not much more you can say about the bird mode, really. It's a large bird of prey. It's a bald eagle, and yeah, it's fairly plugs in together in bird mode pretty well. Not much in the way of articulation. I mean, you can sort of dip the wing ends a little bit. The tail doesn't move, and then you just like the legs are on ratchets, you can ratchet them backwards and forwards. So transformation into robot mode, fairly straightforward, as I'm sure you can imagine. So these become the legs of the robot, so you bring them down. Now you can have a gur walking bird. So split that, turn that round, and then you bring the feet forward. Yeah, it's that way, isn't it? Yeah, turn them round, and that's the feet, the legs. Now going up, unpeg the arms from the wings. Then you bring that up, and you start unplugging the robot parts. Fold that out, and right, so you unhinge the waist from the underside, and you bring the bird head forwards, and then you bring this bit back and then fold that down, and then it plugs in to the back like so. And then the wings, you can just have them going out, and then the arms, you just fold them down. And I think that's it. So there we go. It's kind of awkward. Certain things don't bend the way you expect them to. And I don't know why these wings flap out like that. I don't know why they fold out like that, but they do. There we go. There's Eagle Hider in robot mode. Pretty cool looking robot. I do have a slight gripe with it though. My main gripe is these biceps. It's got very, very skinny biceps, and I know it's all part of the getting it to form the for the arms to tuck under the wings, so they don't take up too much real estate, and they're not too bulky. But they do look a little weird. Look very, very skinny sort of arms. That's my only gripe with robot mode. Really, is the fact that it's got these super skinny arms there. But the rest of it doesn't look too bad. It's got a decent head sculpt, though it is kind of sunken in this in the back of the neck of the bird mode somewhat. It does have a faceplate and some eyes, but like I said, it's sunken in there. It's a shame you can't bring it out, but the head does rotate. Colour wise, I mean, obviously you've got the browns and the white of the bird, and then you've got the yellow of the talons, and then you've got some grey on the thighs and the biceps, and then you've got this red and some bits of silver. So it's a fairly consistent colour palette. Articulation, you've got a head rotation there, though by moving it with your fingers, this bit on the back is pretty close, and your fingers do hit it slightly when you're trying to turn the head. The arms, go up, and that's got stuck. There we go. So the arms go up and down. The very tight friction joint going in and out like that. Got quite a deep elbow bend, but there's no bicep swivel on this, which is a bit unusual, especially considering its weapon is a sword. But it does have wrist rotations, wrist swivels. Because of the transformation, there is no waist joint, unfortunately. Then you've got the hips, they go out to the side, they go forwards, and they go quite far back. You have got a thigh swivel, a deep knee bend, and now you've got the bird feet which form the robot mode feet, and obviously they're on those joints there that do that. So you could do a bit of something like that. The feet do twizzle round, and you've got a little bit of jointage with the toe, but kind of weird joints the way they're arranged on the legs. Also, the wings, you can sort of fold them around like that, like a cape, or like shoulder guards or something, which looks kind of interesting. I think the way they fold around like that does hamper the movement of the arms, obviously. It kind of reminds me of Beast Wars Silverbolt, because he used to be able to do that with his wings. He used to like sort of fold them round like that in sort of like a cape-like fashion. I quite like that. Yeah, it's an odd character, really. There are certain facets of the design which are a bit weird and don't work quite as well as they ought to. Size comparison with my usual sort of size comparison, obviously Combiner Wars Megs, slightly shorter than that are, you know, full on leader class. Let's do a size comparison with. Let's do a size comparison with Air Razor. Just let me transform it quickly. Right, so there's Air Razor in her robot mode, and then put next to Eagle Hider. Yes, massive size difference, obviously. Air Razor, sorry, does handle the wing kibble a little better because you've got those double hinges where you can sort of compress the wings up around the back quite successfully, whereas Eagle Hider, you just got the full wingspan sticking out the back. Like I said, you've got this panel here for some reason that folds out. I don't know why that is, but like I said, you can fold the wings round a little bit, but they only fold inwards, they don't fold outwards. Yeah, I mean, aesthetically, yeah, they both have the beak that folds down to form the chest. That's pretty typical of a bird former, really, or most animal formers for that matter. Like I said, it's an interesting figure. I mean, I wanted to get it when I saw it, and I got it now, and it's. I don't know how I feel about it. It's all right. It's okay. I like it. Oh, yeah. Before we get any further, obviously it's got an accessory. Got the sword, which he can hold in the hand, and obviously because it's got the wrist swivel, you can, you know, compose with the sword a few different ways. Though it's a shame it hasn't got, you know, bicep swivels. Now the scabbard has got these pegs on the legs, so the scabbard can peg in on the leg. However, again, the port is a bit weak, and it's a bit loose, and it barely pegs on. And it's the same on both sides. It's not a great connection, but you know, you can have the scabbard hanging off the side, and then it holding the sword. It's a shame the sword's just moulded in brown plastic. It looks a bit bland. You know, shame they couldn't have moulded it in something else to make it look a little bit more interesting. Not sure what colour the sword is on the show. Shows it has been red. So it should be the same colour as the arms, really. It should be that sort of reddish orange, same colour as the arms, but oh well. There you go. Yeah, it's not a bad figure. It's a typical Carbot. It's reasonably poseable, simple transformation. Because of the design, there's some unusual and awkward bits on it, but it's not bad. It's all right. I don't regret buying it. Decent figure. Be interesting to see what Bear Hider's like. So I'm probably going to get him in the new year. He might be one of my first purchases of 2022, Korean toy wise. But yeah, there's not much more I can say about it, really. Hello Carbot's Air Hider, part of season 11 of the Hello Carbot TV show, which is the Hello Carbot Samba, but it's not actually listed as a It's not actually listed as a Hello Carbot Samba toy. It's like a thing all itself. But yeah, it's an Animal Carbot, like, you know, like the figures that they did for the second movie. So yeah, there we go. Hello Carbot Eagle Hider. It's all right. It's all right. So that's been my first review of this month. I have got another toy to review. Now, as I like to put these videos up on a Saturday, and the toys didn't quite come in time for, you know, the first sort of Saturday slot on the 11th. I don't want to be putting a review up on Christmas Day, so I'm aiming to put my next Korean toy review up on Christmas Eve. Perhaps we'll have to wait and see, but I need to sit down and film it. But that's this review done, and I'll catch you next time. So up in 25 Wilderness, I'll see you all again. Ta-da.